What is the Hunter build that I currently use for Destiny 2 PVE? Well, it's mainly a Scorch build, and it starts off with Blade Barrage as the super, as this is the highest damage super out of any class or subclass in the game. And then you equip Gambler's Dodge, Triple Jump, Knife Trick, and Healing Grenade. And what Gambler's Dodge does is it replenishes Knife Trick every time you dodge near an enemy. And what Knife Trick does is it throws 3 knives where if when radiant and you get a kill with them, you get them back. And Radiant applies when you kill an enemy with Scorch damage, which is also dealt by these throwing knives, or further on with Sunshot. You're also going to want to use Knock 'em Down and On Your Mark as your aspects. Knock 'em Down because this allows you to become Radiant, and while Radiant, final blows fully refund your melee energy when you're using the throwing knife. And On Your Mark is just a good fragment aspect for fragments. You're going to want to use Ember of Singeing because this causes your class ability to recharge faster when scorching targets. Ember of Torches, Ember of Empyrean, Ember of Beams, and Ember of Ashes. And what these are going to do is these are going to improve your Scorch and Radiant effect and make them last longer. For my kinetic weapon slot, I'm using the Bite of the Fox sniper rifle with Aggressive Frame, Envious Assassin, and Opening Shot and Skulking Wolf as the perks. The main part of this build is Sunshot in the energy weapon slot, the hand cannon. And what this does is basically if you get a kill on an enemy, it will make them explode in a ball of fire and basically apply Scorch to enemies around them, which will also cause them to die and apply Radiant to you. I'm using Ascendancy rocket launcher as my power weapon, which has Impact Casing, Quick Launch, Ambitious Assassin, Explosive Light on it. For the seasonal artifacts, I'm using From Whence You Came, which increases ability damage, Kindling Trigger, which makes Radiant cause solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combatants, Flint Striker, which causes rapid solar weapon precision hits and rapid solar weapon final blows to grant Radiant. I'm using Heart of the Flame, which makes casting your solar super grant nearby allies Radiant. Wished into Being, which means while your super is nearly fully charged, it spawns an Orb of Power, which is also used to gain super. Revitalizing Blast, which causes damage with a solar ability and weakens champions and bosses. And Rays of Precision, which means while Radiant, solar precision final blows cause combatants to ignite, which is where they explode. For armor mods, on the helmet, I'm using Hands-On, Harmonic Siphon, and Heavy-Handed. And just Harmonic Siphon. For the gauntlets, I'm using Heavy-Handed and Harmonic Resistance. For the chest, I'm also using Harmonic Resistance as well twice, as well as Enervation and Solar Weapon Surge on the legs. For the cloak, I'm using Bomber and Reaper. And then for the gauntlets, you're going to want to equip the Shards of Galanor exotic. And what these do is these are going to cause your super to recharge faster, deal more damage, and have more knives in it, which is overall just going to kill bosses and mini bosses much quicker and be able to apply better buffs to your team.